Good evening. Welcome to Sunday Satsang with myself, John, and Michelle.
Michelle, hi everyone.
Hello everyone. Yes, so welcome on this beautiful Sunday evening to this live Satsang. And tonight we'll be looking at what are you growing? What are you growing? So all of you gardeners out there, you better listen.
Yeah.
Are we talking about gardening?
No, we're talking about growing.
Oh, not gardening?
Gardening.
Oh.
Gardening, growing. What are we
I
planting?
thought with the new moon that we're going to be talking about
Growing.
planting seeds. No,
Mhm.
growing.
Yes, planting seeds.
Okay,
Growing.
so we're not talking about plants actually. We're probably talking about growing us, growing our awareness and things like that. So we're going to start this evening with a centering meditation, and then Michelle will give us some information on the new moon.
I certainly will.
And then we'll talk about what are you growing? What are you growing? So welcome. Hello, who can we see there? Clay Cockett, Merlene.
And some
Who
other
else is
people
there?
if you can't quite.
So just
work
let us
out.
know who we're talking to. Just write in the comments box your name and where you are, where you're watching from. And otherwise we don't know who we're talking to. So please can you do that? Hello, Paula.
Hi,
Good
Paula.
evening to you. And
Good
as
to be with
usual,
us.
we love getting the hearts. And please just press the like and the share buttons, because we have a suspicion, a strong suspicion, that we are being throttled back by Facebook and definitely by YouTube. There's no doubt about it. So by you sharing it, it actually gets it out beyond the confines of the Google. What do they use? Those
Algorithms.
Algorithms, yeah.
Mhm.
Hello. Hi,
Hi, Neve.
Neve. Hi, Neve. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Yeah, so welcome. And we trust that you've had a good weekend. We've had, as usual, a busy weekend. I don't know why our weekends are so busy, but
Just
they
a
are
weekend.
busy. They really are busy.
Hi, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, Roz.
Rose.
Hello, Roz.
Good to have you with us.
Yeah, so welcome. Yeah. So let's start this evening, as we always do, by bringing ourselves into the present moment. And that is the place that we do find true inspiration and true healing. So it's a good idea at the end of the weekend just to center ourselves in the sacred place of presence and really set the tone for the week ahead. And tonight we're talking about what are you planting. And so tonight in the satsang we're going to plant seeds of presence, seeds of connection to life. So that's in alignment with the theme for tonight. It's a powerful time that we're going through at the moment, very powerful time. So who was that? Christine. Hello, Christine from a damp UK.
Hi, Christine.
Yeah, we've had actually a warm day today. We've had 24, 25,
Sunny.
26 degrees. Thank you for all the hearts.
Oh, that's nice.
Who's sending us all the hearts? Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Hello,
Nice,
Cecilia.
Cecilia.
Hi to you. Hi to you. And hello to all those others. Yeah, so just settle back in your chairs, your couches, or your bed, or wherever you're listening to. Hello, Jill. Hello, Jill. And just check in to see how you feel in this moment. How do you feel right now? I know you've maybe been concerned with the other people around you and how they're feeling today, but right now, how are you feeling right now? How do you feel right now? Check in with your body. Is there any uncomfortableness in your body, any aches and pains in your body right now? Just check in with your body. And you might like to do that by gently closing your eyes and just bringing your awareness deeply into the body, by withdrawing your mind from all other times and all other places, and just centering and resting yourself in the most sacred place of all, which is now, which is the here and now. And let's take a nice beautiful deep breath in. And let's just breathe out any worries or concerns that we have. Just let it go. Take another very deep breath in. As you breathe in, just become aware of the beauty and the magnificence and the gift of this breath that you're taking now. And just again surrender all that no longer serves you in this moment. Just release it, let it go, drop it. You can collect any worries and fears later, but just in this moment, let them go, let them go. Take a third very deep breath in, and you can visualize the air going right down to your toes now, and up to the top of the head, so you're really filling the body. And then that lovely long sigh out. Just release it, let it go. And as you breathe out, just sink down deeper into the chair or the bed or wherever you're sitting or lying. And it's for the next little while, hand over the breath to the intelligence within us called life. Let's just surrender completely to the energy of life. Let's allow life to breathe us. Let's allow life to beat our hearts, to circulate the blood around the body, oxygenating every cell, bathing every cell, cleaning every cell. And we just trust life, and we allow life in this moment to take control, complete control of the body. We relax our hands, we soften our shoulders and our neck muscles. We smooth any worry lines from the forehead. We put a little smile on our faces. We connect with those little lines around the eyes. We soften them, relaxing the jaw and the tongue. You might like to see that your tongue is resting behind the top front teeth, just very relaxed. Your tongue touching the top palate. Relaxing our arms and our elbows and our wrists. Softening our torso, our legs, our ankles. And let's just use the power of intention and visualization to draw in the air from, or the energy from Mother Gaia beneath our feet. You might like to picture it as a certain color. Just visualize this beautiful energy coming up from the earth through the process of grounding into our legs and up into our body, through our shoulders and neck and up to the crown of our head and bursting out the top of our head, to be welcomed by Father Sky above us. And Father Sky sends a reply energy, fountain back into the body, and down the body and through the torso and the legs and out our soles of our feet, and to connect with Mother Gaia beneath us, and we become a beautiful dance of energy between Father Sky and Mother Earth. We feel this energy in our body, the energy of life, and it's a joyful dance, a celebration of the uniqueness of the creation that is you. You are so very precious, so very sacred, and so very, very loved. So necessary for the beautiful unfoldment of the universe at this time. Yes, you. You are created on purpose to be exactly who you are. And you are so very, 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 very loved. Now let's just bring our attention to listening. A very powerful portal that we practice into presence, because you can't truly listen if you're not present. So in this moment, just become aware of any outside sounds in your environment, and without judging them allow your awareness to absorb these sounds. We've got the sounds of some beautiful evening crickets outside that we can hear. Take another very deep breath in. Beautiful deep breath. And let it go and just sink deeper into the sacred moment that we're having together in the Satsang. Beautiful energy. The energy of connection. And in this moment there's an energy of shared compassion, of caring among all those who are present this evening. Feel the beauty of just this moment and this connection that we all have. Just honor this moment completely with your presence, your awareness of the isness of life in this moment, of the true being that you are, the magnificent being that you are. Feel your heart opening and embracing the flow of life as it flows through you into the world. Give thanks for being this channel, this open channel, this open tap for life to flow through you, for love to flow through you, for presence to be here in this moment, channeled through you. And as we do this, so the whole vibration of the human consciousness is raised. Our brightness increases. It's almost like a dimmer switch is turned up on a light. And the radiance from us increases. And as the light increases within us, it increases in all of mankind. And what the world needs now is more light, more love, more joy, more presence. And notice the peace that's inside you growing in this moment. The peace of presence, the peace of stillness. This is beautiful. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for life. And connecting deeply with the stillness within us in this moment. We say a beautiful prayer of thank you from the stillness. Take another very, very deep, soft, slow, deep in-breath. Beautiful long out-breath. And keeping this peace, you may gently open your eyes.
Thank you, that was lovely. Hello everybody.
Hello Diane.
Welcome.
Now, if you didn't get the first bit of this evening, we asked you just to share your name and where you are watching from. And we love getting the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Someone jumped the gun there and sent them. So thank you for the hearts. We love getting those hearts. And if you can, please click the share button, because we are being restricted in the reach of our satsangs. And also for those of you watching on YouTube, there is definitely a throttling back. So if you can, just share it as much as you can and press like, and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you all. Thank you. Hello Helga.
Hi everyone.
Hello Claire.
So we're going to be talking tonight about growing. What are we growing?
Yeah, what are we growing?
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
In terms of the astrology of the moment. So we have just had a new moon, which is all about planting new seeds for the month ahead. It was an eclipse, so it was even more powerful than normal. And following that now, it was right at the end of Aries. It was the second new moon in a row, which definitely reconfirms that we are entering a time of new beginnings, not just for a month or not just for a year, but actually more than that. Because now we have, the sun has moved into Taurus, and Taurus is the sign of growth, and it's the sign of groundedness and what we're planting in the earth. It's a fixed earth sign. So when the sun moves into Taurus, that's the time to actually ground and to say, okay, these new seeds, we've got to actually water them. How do we nurture these seeds? What are we actually growing here? So we're going to talk about that tonight. But really, we've got the sun there. We've also got the north node, which is the nodal axis, which relates to our purpose and what we're here to do. And that's right next to the sun as we speak tonight. So it's really a powerful time to actually look to see what is our purpose? What are we doing on the planet? Why did we incarnate? Why did we choose to come here at this time? And what are we growing? What seeds are we planting? How are we feeding our energy out into the world? How can we serve? How can we provide? How can we heal internally and externally? And what do we want to grow in the years to come? Because that's what this alignment's about. We actually have 4 points in Taurus right now, including the planet of change, which is changing community, changing the way we grow our food, the way we grow our consciousness. That's actually what's happening with this huge shift in consciousness. What are we growing as we move forward? What do we want to leave behind? What's redundant? And how can we move into the future, into our next adventure, into our next project, into our next day, into our next minute, with more presence, with more groundedness. And so Taurus is beautiful because it gives us that groundedness for this month. It actually helps us, while the sun moves through Taurus, along with 3 other points, we actually have the ability to ground those visions that we have, to actually water them, to nurture them, and to bring them to life. And so that's true for what the thoughts we have, the visions that we have, the projects that we have lined up, the work that we do, the relationships that we have. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, which is the planet of love. So what do we love? And that'll probably be what we're growing.
Yeah, and it's we get caught up in the mundane world and we forget the power that we have in each and every moment to grow something new, to actually nourish and to bring something new into the world. We forget the power that we have in each and every thought that we have, in each and every emotion that we feel. We have a power, and that is the power of our creative, our sacred creative energy that's been gifted to us. And in these satsangs, we really do bring a focus to the mindfulness of this power that we have within us, particularly with this energy that we have at the moment. So each thought that we think and each feeling that we feel is given greater amplification in the cosmos. The cosmos means order, but we are part of that order. We're an intimate and an intricate and an important part of that order, and we are all co-creators. So each thought that we think and each feeling that we're feeling is an act of creation. And it's to take that act seriously and to actually start to become aware of what are we growing with the energy within us. You know, I have an understanding, and I think we agree on that we do write a sort of script for our lives before we come here. Who we're going to meet, who we're going to marry, what kids we're going to have, what parents we're going to have. And when we're down here, we forget that we wrote the script, so we sort of blame the guy upstairs for when things go wrong. But in fact, I believe that we participated in the creation of the script, this human experience. But one thing we definitely did not create before we came here is the experience. That's why we come here, to experience. In other words, the framework of the life may be there, but how we fill that in is up to each one of us individually. And that is our experience. That's how we feel in each moment and the thoughts we think in each moment. And paradoxically, those thoughts and those feelings go out to color the next experience that we're going to be having. So the question is, in this moment, what are we feeding with our emotions, and what are we feeding with our thoughts? What are we growing? What world, and this is a big one, what world are you growing right now with the predominant thoughts and feelings that you are thinking and feeling? What world are you creating? Is it a world of compassion and empathy and care, and of possible joy and love,
creativity
and abundance? Or is it a world based on fear and restriction and withdrawal and closing down and maybe anger and all of those? So those are the two different options that we have in each and every moment. So the question right now, and just take a moment to think about this: what world are you growing right now?
Yeah, the new earth. So how are you contributing to growing the new earth in every word, every step, every breath that you take? How are each of us doing that? And we can be doing it in very different ways, but how are we actually putting our energy, our love energy, out into the world? What's unique about us that we can actually do that somebody maybe can't do? And it's this beautiful, we often say in a group, it's like the cake, we're baking a cake. What ingredient have we got that we can add to this amazing cake that we're baking? Because it's going to be a different cake. It's not going to be the same cake. So this is what these times are about. It's about exposing the rot of what doesn't work in the world. That's we've been going through for the last few years, and seeing how we can actually grow something else, something new, something fresh, something that possibly hasn't been done before. It's a whole brave new way of doing things. So we very often get stuck in the old patterns, and the nodal axis, which is being highlighted right now, is the old and the new, our karma versus where we're moving towards. And we often get held back by karma in terms of the patterns that we've come in with, the conditioning that we've come in, the fears that we've come in with. So they very often hold us back and hold us small. And these are times where we've actually got to see them, acknowledge them, and possibly just move through them and not allow them to actually hold us back. And so they're deep times. Both of the sun is still in the square to Pluto, which is huge. Pluto's moved into Aquarius. It's the new earth. It's building communities. How do we do that? This is brand new. We've never done this before. We've never experienced Pluto in Aquarius before. It takes 250 years to get to the sign. So what do we want to build? And for me, that's just what's been highlighted right now with the new moon, the solar eclipse, and this. That's what the question is for me. It reminds me of that story about the wolves, the two wolves. What was that story about the
Native American proverb or whatever it is, fable, myth, about two wolves fighting, a grey wolf and a black wolf. And the grandfather is telling his grandson about these two wolves fighting. And the one wolf, the dark wolf in that particular fable, represents the egoic greed, need, fear, self-aggrandizement, etc., etc., etc. And the grey wolf, the white wolf, represents what is good, the expanded self, the self that's connected to the true essence of life and being and nature, and it strives for the upliftment of the whole community rather than the little self. And the grandson listens for a while and he says, "But tell me, Granddad, which wolf wins?" And the granddad says to his grandson, "Whichever one you feed." And that's the absolute truth. That's the absolute truth. The world that we will experience will be the world that we fed, that we grew. We're growing that world. Yes, there are forces around us that are helping us with this process of transformation, but we are a very necessary ingredient. Each one of you watching this are a very necessary ingredient in this transformation process, in the birthing process of something new, in the growing of this new earth. And what you said earlier about the uniqueness of each individual, each one of you has a unique ingredient to add to this particular cake that we are baking. Sometimes we think our lives are insignificant, but they're not. Not a single life is insignificant. And you have got a particular needed ingredient in this awakening and unfoldment process of the new earth. You have that.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to share that. How do we share that? By opening. You know, fear closes us down, depression closes us down, and joy opens us up. Love opens us up. Presence, being present, opens us up. And as we open up, so more of this unique ingredient is shared for the whole of humanity, and not only on earth, but this radiates out into the whole universe. And the cosmos, the word cosmos means order. So as we open up, we contribute to the beautiful order of the cosmos. That's how important each one of you is.
I've just got a beautiful image that it's almost like we're making a new garden, a brand new one, with plants that we've never seen before, and trees that we've never seen before. And each little seed is as important as each tree. Each little leaf is as important as each great big huge mountain. You know, it's not about being bigger and better. That's the old way. This is about your unique expression. It could be just sitting with someone and holding space for them while they have a meltdown. It could be just sending a little message to someone saying, I'm thinking about you. You're not talking about great big things that you have to do out in the world. It's actually more of how do you just contribute in every moment? How do you take your energy? What are you feeding? What are you growing? What do you want to grow into the world as you move forward? What do you want to grow inside you? How do you want to feel? What do you want to provide? How do you want to serve? What do you want what would you like your world to feel like? Because that's what we're feeding. Every moment of every day, we're feeding it, whether we like it or not. That's what we're doing. So if we're focusing on the difficulties, we're feeding the difficulties. If we're focusing on the fears, we're feeding the fears. That's not to say that you might not feel fearful. Because at the moment, what's happening is the old stuff is coming up. So if you have a tendency to be fearful about something, or to feel insecure, or to doubt, then that could be coming up to the surface. And you might be, I know that a couple of people I've spoken to this year, some clients this week actually, have said, but I thought I was over that. I really thought that I'd conquered that fear, or I'd conquered that pattern, or that insecurity, or that lack of self-worth, or whatever it is. And they're disappointed when it comes up again. And as we often are, because we think that we shouldn't be that. We shouldn't have those insecurities. But if we have the insecurities, then it means that they need to come up for just noticing, not judging, just noticing. I do still feel fearful. And possibly this is something that I need to just look at. Is this a real fear? Is it something that I need to stay away from? Or is it something that is just an old pattern playing out? It's an old pattern of self-doubt. Taurus is also associated with self-worth. So it's also a very good time to look at over the next month. How do we feel about ourselves from a worthy perspective? So if we feel that somebody or people are ignoring us or don't see us, what does that mean about our own sense of self-worth? How do we feel about ourselves? Because that's going to feed into what we feed and how we grow it. Because if we don't feel good enough about ourselves, we might close down and withdraw when we could actually be contributing and getting involved.
Yeah, each one of us is a unique expression of life, a complete unique expression of life. No one has your set of fingerprints. No one has your exact personality type. And no one has your particular frequency of light to share with the world. And just know that you have been created completely uniquely. And when we lack the so-called sense of self-worth, we are negating the gift that the divine has given us. We're saying, I'm sorry, God, but you made me a bit defective. You know?
Yeah.
And
Made a boo-boo there.
yeah, and no, life doesn't make defective things. You have been created uniquely because, for example, let's just look at this. You know, if you get an orchestra, you've got many instruments there. And every instrument is slightly different to the other instruments. Even if you have two violins, they're slightly created differently. And so there may be, for example, you know, an oboe and a kettle drum. I mean, their sound is completely different. And it's not to judge yourself in terms, if you're the kettle drum and you're trying to judge yourself in terms of the flute, for example, you say, well, I'm not a very good flute. No, but you're a kettle drum, you know. And it's to actually honor your uniqueness and to say thank you to life or the divine for creating this unique expression of life. And then to say, how can I be the best kettle drum? Or how can I be the best flute? How can I sing the best song that I can sing, not tomorrow, but today?
Right now.
How can I be the best version of myself in this particular moment, here and now? And the answer is very simple. Just be. To be yourself is to be. And to be yourself means that you have to open. You have to open to what life is giving us in this particular moment. So it's a case of opening. The old world was created on the closing on that fear, false evidence appearing real. I am what I do, I am what I have, and I am what other people think of me. And you were touching on it just now, that so many people look for their self-worth in how other people perceive you. Not that God created this unique essence of life, which is you, but how do these defective humans around me, or these defective personalities, not humans, defective personalities around me, see me, and then I'm going to get my self-worth from these people who don't even know who they are. And that's a very dysfunctional way of seeing the magnificence of your true being. So I believe that it's our sacred duty in each and every moment to honor the unique creation that each one of us is. And with that honoring, we are growing something more beautiful than this world has ever seen before.
Yeah, and it's in each moment. Because I think a lot of the time our self-esteem, our self-worth, or whatever you want to call that, is defined by what we've achieved, what we're about to achieve, you know, and then it's either, yes, that's good, or no, that's not good, and then we take that on. So it's just to see where is your self-worth right now, and how can you grow into more of who you really are at your core, which is whole and complete and healed and loving and kind, all those things. So how can we actually grow that more, rather than also flagellate ourselves? Because that's the other thing that we do. We often, very, very often, will say, I did that, I shouldn't be doing this. And then we go down that slippery slope. And then that's a closing as well. And that creates more of that, because then you're feeding that, you're growing that, as opposed to growing the potential. And to look through and see what is the potential here. Very often we see the things in the way, the obstacles in the way. What if we just had to look through that? You know, I'm just thinking of a property that we're looking at, and there's a lot of trees on it, and you can't really see the views very well all the time. But you've got to be able to see through it. It's a bit like those 3D pictures that we used to get. You remember those ones that you used to get in the magazines? And you used to hold them up, and then you couldn't see anything. It was just lines and colours. And then the more you actually were able to look through it, it came into 3D. And that's, for me, it's an ability that I think that we are growing into, that we don't have clear signals right now. A lot of people are saying that to me, and I'm feeling that too. It's not bright lights flashing in the sky saying, you need to do this, and this is how you do it, and here's the easy pathway. It feels almost like we have to feel it out, step by step. We just focus on this step, and then see what's coming into focus in this moment, and allow it to come into focus. and then move to the next step. And that's coming so much in my conversations with people, through dreams and through all sorts of things, that just take this step. Yeah. What step can I take right now towards growing what I want to grow?
Yeah, and not being too concerned about the previous step or the next one that you're going to take. Just this one. What can I do in this moment? No, I can't do anything about that. No, I can't do anything about that. Yes, and your mind will get so occupied about what you can't do that it misses what you can do. Maybe sitting here peacefully in this moment is the most important thing that I can do in my life right now. Maybe entering the stillness is the most important thing that we can do. Oh, we lost some lights here. We had load shedding. Why did that bulb go off? Anyway, we've got load shedding. So luckily we've got some emergency lights here. And you know, you were talking earlier about walking in the forest. And part of walking in the forest, yes, one notices, for example, the decaying tree stumps. And you mentioned earlier about the decay in society. And that decay in the forest, when we see it and we look into it, we see, my goodness me, that's beautiful humus that's being formed in the soil. It is really so wonderful, that breakdown process, because it's providing the nutriments for the new growth. So as we see things breaking down in society around us, and here in this moment we have a very apt or an example of the breakdown of our electrical system in South Africa. In that moment, the breaking down can be seen as wrong, and we can look at that rotting tree stump as wrong, or we can say no, but this process of breaking down this huge structure of the so-called Eskom, which is our electrical supplier in South Africa, maybe that is actually going to create the fertilizer and the nourishment for something new to be grown. And I mean, one of the things that's growing from that is self-reliance, self-resilience, where people are saying, but we're not going to rely upon centralized control anymore to meet my needs. We're going to go independent. We're going to look after our own electrical supply. We're going to look after our own water supply. We're going to look after our own food supply, which is something that we are doing with this land that we are in the process of acquiring at the moment, to set up a sustainable, intentional community that's way more self-sufficient than looking to centralize control for our needs to be met. So we can look at the breakdown in the world around us, the breakdown in the banking sector, for example, and many, many other sectors. We can look and say, but this is maybe a beautiful process, because maybe this is giving us the motivation to take a step in a direction that we might not have been prepared to take had the world out there been perfect. I always say that it's easier to wake up from a nightmare than a comfortable dream. And so everything that's going so-called wrong in the world is actually right. Everything that's going wrong in the forest with that stump rotting, is actually absolutely right. There's a world taking place in that stump of insects and fungi and all sorts of things that are beautifully supplied by the breakdown of that particular structure, and they release more nutriments for the whole forest to benefit. So we can look at that in our lives. Yes, a lot of rot is being revealed right now. In the very, the huge dark time that we've been going through for the last few thousand years, which is called the Kali Yuga. Yes, a lot of things, one can classify it as evil or unconsciousness, has created financial systems, social systems, political systems, educational systems, medical systems. They all came out of the Kali Yuga. But now we're stepping into what's called the Dwapara, which is an age of energy, an age of lighter energy. And we can look at the past as being bad, or we can say, but this is wonderful. This is wonderful nutriments. It's given me a greater depth of understanding about where I need to go, where we need to go as a species, rather than playing the old game of the blame game. We can step out of that and reconnect with our true creative energy. And the question again, to come back to that, is what are you growing? What world are you creating? What world do you want to create? And it's then to be mindful of the thoughts we think and the feelings we feel, because we're stepping into the Dwapara, which is the energy age. What is a thought but energy? What is a feeling but an energy? This is the food and the creative process for the new earth, for the new world to be born.
And I think we're going to see a lot of new, beautiful, amazing inventions and discoveries over the next 20 years, which is this Pluto thing. As the world starts to get more and more tech oriented, and tech becomes kind of king in some sectors, in many sectors, I think there's also a rising, and I'm seeing it every day where we're living, in connecting more with the plants, with the soil. As John said, today we're sitting at a stump of a tree. As he said, it would usually be seen as, oh, that's messy. But when you looked at it and saw the life that was happening inside this thing, underneath the ground, I mean, that's a whole other universe right there. How can we actually use the soil? How can we work with the soil? How can we work with Mother Nature? How can we honor the land? Because that's the healing of the new earth. What herbs can we use? Can we make our own medicines? How can we do that? Can we use trees for electricity? What can we do? How can we do it differently that we've never thought of before? We've never experienced before. That's the upside of Pluto and Aquarius. It's new discoveries, new inventions, new technologies, community building, and providing those new things. And it comes together when you get together with other people and you talk about ideas. You say, well, we've never done this before, but let's try it. Let's see what we can do with that. I wonder what you could use that plant for. I wonder what that healing properties that this plant is prepared to give us, what those might be. So that's what this is about. It's about, and I think for at least the next month, while this process is happening, Mercury is actually retrograde right now, by the way. So you must back up your data on your devices, because during Mercury retrograde, they often go a bit pear-shaped. So it's always good to back things up and back up your emails and that kind of stuff, because it'll be retrograde for about 3 weeks. But the other part about Mercury retrograde is looking at how we communicate, looking at our thoughts, reflecting on what we can learn, what we can study, what we can do differently, how we can communicate differently. So it's a good time to actually connect. And I think also connecting with the earth. Taurus, it's the earth. It's Mother Earth. Connect with Mother Earth. Ground every day. We need to be grounding every single day. Shoes off outside. We really do. That's our recharge. I mean, I'm sure all of you can relate to that. You can be feeling one way and you go outside and you feel completely different when you come back inside after being in nature. Even if it's just your feet on the grass. Yeah.
Absolutely, reconnect to nature.
Yeah.
I was going to go back a bit. You were speaking about technologies, new technologies coming in, and some of the problems which we seem to be faced with in the world are insurmountable. I mean, how are we going to sort out X, Y, Z? And to realize that where the world was created by these, controlled by these big systems that seemed completely inviolate and unchallengeable, that a lot of inventions were suppressed. Now, as these systems start to collapse, so those get revealed. Those suppressed technologies get revealed. So I'm very optimistic that we are going to find beautiful new technologies which really help us transcend the old world in incredible ways, far more effectively and far more efficiently than those old technologies were. So yes, those old technologies, those old systems, those centralized control systems, maybe they need to collapse so that the new can be revealed. In the same way that nature grows, through the old collapsing and then the newness comes up. We talk about, when the dinosaurs died out. And what happened after that? Well, we had mammals appeared. How beautiful is that? A brand new technology as far as biology goes called mammals. But the old had to die, and maybe not too good for the dinosaurs, but beautiful for Mother Nature, for the expression of the creative energy called life. And so it's to keep your vibration focused on what we really, really, really want to see, and be mindful of our thoughts, where we're investing those thoughts, because that's what we're growing at the moment.
And focus on what we're feeding our bodies as well. There's going to be much, much more of a focus on what we're actually ingesting, in terms of if you see what is put in our foods. So it's going to become more and more crucial, actually, that we grow our own food.
Yeah.
That's just a reality. It's a practical reality. That we hopefully catch water, we grow food, we become more self-sufficient. And that means a relationship, building a relationship with the earth.
Yeah. And with the community.
And with
the community.
New building methods that don't use so much concrete and synthetic stuff. Seeing how we can build in maybe an old but new way. So we're living more in harmony with nature, because as the technological side goes up, our connection with the earth, the cycles, sunrise, the sunset, our connection goes down, because people are spending all their time on their screens. So how can we actually just up that? How can we grow our connection with Mother Earth? For me, that's crucial going forward.
Yeah, that is important. And even when you're talking about building a house, the old way was that you just pay someone to come in with their cement and their bricks, and they build it for you. But how about creating something connected with Mother Nature, connecting with the earth, finding new technologies in building and supporting that? The old world was very much about top-down control, rules and regulations. The new world is about us finding the reconnection with the real humanity, the real essence of what it is to be human. And the real essence of what it is to be human is to be creative, to be unique, not to be, mass-produced humans that all come out of school the same and all go into university the same. We've had several songs about that,
And beverage. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Remember that song?
Yeah, that's Michael Jackson. Yeah, beautiful songs, And so yes, it is to see, to know that we have power. We have massive power. As much as the world wants to centralize and diminish our power, for example, through bodies like the WHO or the World Economic Forum or whatever else, non-elected bodies that want to dictate, what we can do with our bodies and what we can do with our finances. To say, no, we're going back to smaller is better, we're going back to community is better, and we're going to feed the new world from the inside out, not from the top down, but from us, each individual of each one of us, individually contributing our uniqueness to the world, and to grow and to offer, so first of all, what we have as a unique being to the greater community around us, and to grow the world in a far more sustainable, far more connected way to nature and to the real essence of what it is to be human, which is to be connected to our hearts. And I think that's the way forward for all of us, and to know that we are being supported in the higher energetic levels as we go through this transformation. But it's almost like a testing time for humans. Which world are you going to support? The world of fear, which is fed to us from the media, etc., or we're going to choose love. And just to say again that while love promises you, fear promises you security and everything in the future, it ultimately delivers you nothing. Where love, on the other hand, doesn't give you any promises, and yet ultimately, if you invest in love, you find all your needs are always met in magical, beautiful ways. Yeah. Our wedding time was.
I think I'll end off with a meditation. Do you want to pull a card?
Yeah, let's pull a card. If you have any comments, please type them up for us. We love getting your comments. We don't always get to read them while we are live, but we definitely do go through them afterwards, and we really appreciate getting your comments, and we love getting your hearts. And as we said earlier, if you can, just press the like and the share button and subscribe to our channel, because it really does help get the message out to a larger audience. And we really appreciate each one of you being with us every Sunday. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we've got a whole pack of cards here, affirmation cards, our affirmation cards. We didn't buy them in the shop, we grew them organically. How about that? What are you going to choose today?
That one.
A red one. A red is to do with base chakra, it's to do with finances, money, family, things of the earth. So we'll find out what that says at the end of the meditation or during the meditation. Okay.
All right, we'll do our check-out meditation. So just settle in a little bit more comfortably if you need to. Take a beautiful, slow, deep breath in. And a releasing, relaxing exhale. Now take a deep breath in to the count of 6. All the way up to the top of the chest. And then let it all go and exhale to the count of 8. Blow all of that air out. Let it all go. And then a third deep breath in. And on the out breath, blow the breath out through your mouth. Blow it all out, all of it. Allow your body to soften, allow your shoulders to relax. Just bring yourself into the present. Imagine a beautiful healing light above your head. You can choose the color. Whatever resonates with you. What you need in this moment. And this healing light is now filtering down through the top of your head. And kind of knows exactly where to go in your body to release and cleanse and clear and heal. To allow this beautiful light to go into your head and around your head. And as it starts to move around and swirl around, allow your eyes to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. You might even make a little smile with your face, with your mouth. Smooth out those frown lines. Feel how your entire scalp relaxes. Now this light filters down through your neck. Relax the muscles around your neck. Front and back, sides. Maybe you just move your neck around a little bit. And bring this light down now through onto your shoulders, into your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders. Moving down through your arms, into your hands. And just stop there for a few seconds and feel the energy in your hands. Just notice that as you focus on a particular thing, a particular area, you actually can feel usually something there. You might feel a tingling or a warmth. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Now bring this light down through your torso into all of your organs. If there's any part of your body that is tight or diseased or uncomfortable, just allow that light, this beautiful healing light, to flow into it. All the way down through your torso, front and back, down your spinal column, into your hips, your buttocks, your pelvis, down into your legs, Allow this light to swirl around your knees and down through your shins, into your ankles, and then down into the earth. In a big, beautiful taproot, going deep, 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 deep into Mother Earth. And now imagine Mother Earth filling you up from beneath your feet. So now imagine a liquid light coming up through the bottoms of your feet. Again, just sense what color that liquid light would be. And bring this light up through the feet, through the legs, up through the pelvis, hips, up through the torso, up through the hands, the arms, the neck, the face. And allow this beautiful earth energy to mingle with the energy above your head. As if you're sort of standing in the middle of a fountain. Goes in, goes around and comes back up again. Beautiful movement of energy moving through you. Clearing what needs to be cleared, giving it back to the earth, bringing the nutrients in, bringing the healing in. From Mother Earth, from Father Sky, from all around you. Now connecting in the center, in your heart center. Breathing into that heart center and softening and opening and releasing. And being fully present for you right now, whatever's happening. In a gentle way, not reaching for anything. Just surrendering to this moment. And as you surrender and as you are here in presence, I'll just repeat the affirmation for tonight. I am abundant, and all my needs come easily and effortlessly to me every day. Breathe that in and out. Take another breath in. Breathe in these words again. I'm abundant and all my needs come easily and effortlessly to me every day. Let this abundance fill up inside you. Feel the abundance of just this moment. The abundance of your breath. The abundance of this body that keeps going, keeps you going, that walks and talks and feels and touches and strokes and eats. It shines its light, cares, serves, carries you around. Just fill yourself up with gratitude for the abundance that is in this moment right now. Breathe it all the way into all your cells. And during this week ahead, just make sure to take some time to just reconnect with this place. Over and over. In the midst of any turmoil you may be facing or challenge. Just bring yourself back. And taking a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, you can open your eyes or not and go to sleep.
That's really beautiful. Wasn't that lovely? And wasn't that affirmation so apt, eh? In what we are growing I am abundant and all my needs come easily and effortlessly to me every day. That's a wonderful new earth to build inside our awareness, a new consciousness. And affirmations are a very powerful, powerful tool at creating the world that we want. Thank you for being with us tonight. Bless you. Thank you for all the hearts that we received. Thank you. It's been a lovely evening, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thank you, thank you.
Lots of love.
Sleep tight.